want to hop on the phone because it goes on for a long time. Sometimes it just draws it out.
Yes, it does. It will be a long.
But when it comes to important things, what happens is I don't want to text it because then I'm like, I don't want a paper trail.
Oh. I know, isn't that terrible? We're in this generation where everything we write, we know is like going to be remembered forever. So you're like, what do I actually want to write?
Yeah.
Not that people aren't listening in on our phone conversations too, but
right, exactly. Like, they're probably tapping or listening to our phones.
But I think people are more forgiving when you just say things that come out of your mouth rather than like when you spend time actually thinking about what you're going to write.
I don't know. Nobody's very forgiving of things I say.
I meant like generally speaking, on the average person who's not on the radio.
Yeah.
And like if you just say something in conversation, they may be like, oh, maybe they were having a weird day. That was kind of an odd thing to say. Because I've definitely said things where I'm like, why did I say that?
Yeah, me too.
All the time. But I don't know. I think our YouTube stream might be down.
It went down and I just put it back up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I don't know why that happened. I think it's literally nothing changed.
Not on any of the other sites either. Just YouTube. All right.
It's super weird.
We're back.
Yeah, I hate that. It's super annoying.
Hope everyone finds us again.
I know. They're not going to find us again.
We're here.
Lori says, you guys coordinated your colors today. I guess we did.
We did.
There you go.
That's hilarious because funny. I was barely with it when I was grabbing clothes. I was like pulling out of the dryer.
Amelia says, I hope you enjoy your axe retreat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope I will too. I'm feeling a little bit better today. I was very worried yesterday because last year I was sick and couldn't go on it. So I was like, I cannot do this again. I took off my evening job and I just took a lot of medicine, drank a lot of tea.
That's good.
And slept.
That's good. I'm glad you rested. I slept so much yesterday. I ended up getting back to my hotel around 3:00, and I took a nap until about 6:00. Then I had a meeting. A friend of mine is getting married in June, and they wanted, they asked if I would MC their wedding. And I was like, oh, sure, that'd be fun. I've never MC'd a wedding before.
That's cool.
And so I did that. And then after I got off the phone with them, we talked for like an hour-ish, and then got changed, and then ate something, went to bed, and I slept. So I slept for like 12 hours total.
And I went home last night or yesterday. I went home pretty early yesterday, and I was so tired just getting in my car. I almost fell asleep just sitting in my car, not driving. I want to make that clear. I was not driving. But when I got home, I'm like, great, I'm just going to hit the pillow. Everything's going to be great. And then I couldn't fall asleep. My brain would not shut up. And I was like really, really annoyed. And so after a while, I gave up and got up and did a few things. And then I was able to fall asleep.
I very rarely, very, very rarely have trouble falling asleep. I can basically sleep anytime, anywhere, which is why it was really weird the other day when I was up late. Let's see.
Oh, Alberto is saying that's how you spell your name. I forgot I was commenting on my account. I usually switch over to the GRN one. Yeah. But yeah, I hate that. Cecil. That's okay. That's a fair. Cecil's probably the most common spelling I get.
You weren't. When did you become Catholic?
When I was 17.
And your parents named you Marie?
Yes. So it was my grandmother's cat was Catholic, and her middle name was Marie. Actually, I would just like to say I have all three of my names are saint names because Cecil is Cecilia actually. And then
wait, Marie. Cecil isn't your name?
No, Cecil is my name.
Oh, it's your.
But Cecilia, it's like the Norwegian version of Cecilia.
Oh.
So I have Saint Cecilia, or Saint Cecilia, Marie. And then also Anderson is Andrew, Andrew's son. So St. Andrew. Just like to throw that out there. So my parents unintentionally gave us all my siblings, we all have at least one saint name in our name.
Wow.
So
that's super
my brother is Willem Lawrence Anderson. My sister is Tova Elizabeth. So
my parents did not name me after Saint Adrian, but coincidentally, I was born on the feast of St. Adrian.
Really?
And my family did not know that.
Cool.
I only found out about this like 6 years ago.
Wow, you're like, that's a pretty awesome.
Like, who would have guessed?
Yeah, when I became Catholic, my mom was like, well, we could celebrate your name day saint too, Saint Cecilia. So I appreciate that. She was one of the ones I considered for my confirmation saint as well. I did not end up going with her ultimately.
Who did you end up choosing?
St. Florian.
St. Florian, the patron saint of firefighters.
Yes, because at the time, because I had just spent about a year actually seriously considering going into EMT, and I really was respected firefighters, and I thought the story was interesting. And I'm going to be completely honest, Adrian, I had joined RCIA probably the last day you could before to join the church that year, and about a week later, they passed around the form where you had to write who your confirmation saint was going to be, and I had just barely started researching, and the only name I could remember was Florian. So I was like, I'm going to say that was a Holy Spirit. That was who I was meant to have, which is great. And then I remember was like, oh yeah, I did really like this guy's story. He stood up. He was a Christian Roman soldier.
Mm. Yeah, my father is a fireman. He's a senior captain at the Houston Fire Department. So I bought him some stuff for firefighters. The St. Florian statue, or was it a statue or was it a picture? I forget. And so I gave him that. But the St. Florian is his cross, the St. Florian cross, is the symbol of firefighter, is the international symbol for fire departments. And most people don't realize that.
No, every single firefighter is walking around with the St. Florian's cross, which I think is so cool.
Yeah, me too.
So awesome. My mother's favorite name as a child was Athena. I think is it Athena?
Athena?
Athena, is that how you pronounce it? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Athena Murphy. She forgot to name the first 5 girls that name. She remembered it, and when I came along, that's so cool.
Oh, that's funny. Ethna.
Ethna. I'm sorry. I was like imagining an extra I in there that doesn't exist. Why is there Anderson and Anderson, Ian versus Owen? I'm pretty sure the Owen is more of the
American version?
Yeah, American English version, and then the EN is the Danish, like Hans Christian Andersen. My family was Norwegian. My dad's family is Norwegian. Our last name was not Anderson. It was Skinlow. My great-grandfather came here and very gratefully changed it to Anderson because that would have been a lot harder to spell. And then I would have been Cecil Marie Skinlow. SMS.
Oh, my.
Would have been entertaining.
Yeah. All of us, me and my siblings all have American names. We didn't have any Hispanic names. My brother's Gabriel, after the angel Gabriel.
Awesome.
My sister is Bethany, after the city of Bethany. My other sister is Emily. And I don't know if there's any St. Emily's.
I don't think there are.
There's St. Amelia's.
There are a lot of Emilys in this generation, so maybe one of them is going to become a saint.
That'd be my sister.
Yeah, perfect. And we have our St. Emily coming. My very, very good friend is named Emily, and her mom is convinced that she had not really heard that name being popular at the time that she decided to use it. And she actually she took like several family names and combined it together to make Emily. It turns out that was the most popular female name of the year that she was born. So that was unfortunate.
Yeah. My sister just sold her painting of St. Maximilian Kolbe for $3,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You know St. Bartholomew?
Yes.
He died by being flayed alive.
That's exciting.
There's a famous statue in Rome of him holding his skin in his hands. It's actually really epic.
Oh, I bet.
Because you're just like, how on earth did they carve that? Like the skill that they had back then, like, and then you look at modern art, like, yeah, this is art. It's like, no, that's art. What you're doing is called garbage.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were asking how on earth do they carve his skin?
Oh,
and I was like, why are we talking about this?
No, that's gross. That's gross. No. I'm
okay,
saying
gotcha. How do they?
The statue.
The art. How?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the statue, how did they carve?
I had a little bit of restoration of humanity when I saw this video, I think on YouTube, of this woman who sells paintings that she makes with like a mop, where she literally just like makes circles with a mop in like a few minutes, right? And selling them, and they're in like art galleries, and they're thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm thankful that almost every single comment was no. This is not art. You just have connections.
my sister spends like months painting these things.
She does.
And she sells them for like $3,000. People get a mop with paint on it and they rub it on the ground and they're like $10,000.
It's all about, and I feel like a lot of it is what connections they have with rich people who are willing to like buy these things.
It's money laundering, in my opinion.
It's crazy. It always makes me sad when you go to like art museum and you see all these beautiful works, and then you see some and you're like, one that was literally like a pile of sand. I was like,
I saw that one,
and I'm like, but I'm like, question though. So It was here in Dallas. Actually, it was at Dallas Museum
Really?
of Art very briefly.
Oh my goodness.
And I saw a label on it, and they said how much it was worth. It was some like $2 million. And it's just like a little rope around the sand on the floor. And I just had to ask, with every little particle of sand that accidentally blows out of that area and gets stuck on your foot, are you like taking a few $1,000 of the
no,
piece away?
it's together that's worth.
Oh, it's only when it's together.
It's together.
Right. Because it hasn't been adjusted at all by the air moving or anything like that.
I hate everything. Oh my goodness. Whenever I see these things, I'm just like, there was this art exhibit where the guy stacked buckets of sand together, and then it fell over. No. And they're like, this is the art. Yeah. And I'm like, I literally hate everybody and everything.
And I have a friend who's starting her own art business right now, and she's very frustrated all the time. She's like, wait, I'm so confused. How did these things end up in the art galleries?
Yeah, it drives me nuts. Everybody's fired. Let's see. Paul, good morning to you. Paul says, I wonder that too. Talking about, you're talking about Anderson. Yeah, we talked about that already.
Anderson.
Hunter Barton sells his art, says Ethna. Yeah, that's 100% money laundering scheme.
Oh my gosh.
He actually, we found out it may not be money laundering. I think it's influence peddling is what it is. They found out that some of the people who purchased some of Hunter Biden's art ended up getting employed in the Biden administration.
Oh, so I just needed several $1,000 million, and I could have gotten a job in the Biden administration.
Exactly.
Darn,
If you bought a piece of his art, you might have a job with the White House.
Man.
If you go look up his art, it's something. It's definitely something.
My grandmother, who was very polite, would have just been like, well, it's very unique.
It is unique. I certainly have not seen anything like it before. Yeah, craziness. I'm not a fan. So there you go, folks. Tomorrow, when do you leave for the retreat? Do you leave tomorrow or do you leave today?
I leave this afternoon. I have to be at my church at 4 p.m., I think, to get on a bus because we're going pretty far outside of the...
Really?
We're going to Bridgeport, which
idea
is
where that is.
Well north of Denton and Decatur, like northwest of here.
I see.
Still in the Fort Worth Diocese, though.
Okay.
But it's out there.
Is that like a retreat center?
Mm-hmm. It's a retreat center they have out there. We used to have one very close to our parish, but they went under renovations and then really struggled in COVID, so they're not quite up to snuff again. So I think I know more about it than I'm supposed to. My sister's on team.
I mean,
you're not supposed to know that much going into it, but I have been on the outside watching other people go in many times in my family. So
I don't know anything about an Acts retreat.
No, not at all.
Nobody who's been on an Acts retreat have told me anything about it.
I only know a few things. My sister assures me that there's still plenty I don't know, but that I definitely know more than most people.
Yeah, I probably would never go on an Acts retreat. I'm not the Acts retreat model doesn't seem like it would be very beneficial for me. I think I'd be frustrated.
It's for some people and not every person.
Yeah. Also, I'm not a sharer. I don't like sharing.
That would be, I feel like, not good for an Acts retreat.
No, it would not be. It'd be very awkward, and I'd be like, why is Adrian not participating? And I'm like, I'm a pass. So did you watch the GOP debate or the interview with Donald Trump? If you did, let me know. I'm curious to know what you thought about it, because I thought about watching it last night. I didn't. It looked really boring.
Yeah, honestly, I was asleep first off, but also, I didn't watch it. I haven't even seen any clips or anything. I saw one article this morning. I think Catholic News Agency had one article, but there was no one giant takeaway for me to even sum up in a newscast. So,
yeah, I watched some of the clips. Some clips all throughout it, but it all just seemed like a bunch of hogwash. Honestly, I was very disappointed, and one thing that I liked about it was, I wanted to actually talk about this, but maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk about it with Dave Palmer. Dave Palmer's going to be on tomorrow. I wanted to talk about the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy did amazing in the clips that I saw. In the clips that I was watching this morning, Vivek, he just seemed to just dominate the conversation. The problem is Vivek is a Hindu. And I really like a lot of what he has to say, but I'm just like, I can't get behind endorsing a Hindu guy. I can't. He's a pagan. He literally worships demons. How on earth can I justify doing that? And one of my friends, she had posted on Twitter. She said, "Watch, Vivek Ramaswamy is going to get baptized while he's on campaign," basically saying like he's going to pretend to become Christian because to get the votes. Because I'm sure there are a lot of people, evangelicals, that are similar opinion. They're like, I'm not going to vote for him. I can't vote for a Hindu. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm very curious to know what you think about the idea of voting for a Hindu.
He's also he is vegan.
He's vegan,
as the Lost Creole says. Well, I saw.
That's even worse.
I was looking up on, and he is an animal rights activist, supposedly. So.
Yeah, that's an L. The whole animal rights thing, PETA, whole thing. I think
PETA's not even considered a good animal rights. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy surrounding them. Yeah, most vegans don't support PETA.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not. They've actually done things that are against what they kind of teach. That's
very interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of vegans won't even support PETA.
Good morning, Paul. Paul says hi, Adrian. Hi, Sissel. Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Mary says, good CDT fam. New York Post, only 75 criminals have been taken since January 20th for vandalism. 300 plus U.S. Catholic churches, schools, grounds, and Fox News 40% of these crimes since Roe returning. That was really confusing to me. 75 criminals. I'm not sure. Ethan has said Trump is very popular with the people. Yeah, I mean that was Trump's point that he was making in the interview with Tucker Carlson, which got way more views than Fox's GOP debate. Fox really messed up. They made it so they said they were going to sue anyone who restreams the broadcast, which I think is incredibly dumb if they want to actually get people to view it. But because they were not letting other people view it, a lot of commentators were commentating on the Trump interview versus the GOP debate because they're like, well, we can't watch it live. Can't watch it live with you guys.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very dumb of them to do that. Monica said, what is the difference, voting Democrat or Hindu? Yeah, so if it came down to voting for Vivek versus Joe Biden, I'd probably vote for Vivek because, I mean, it's someone who supports baby murder versus someone who doesn't support baby murder. Well, but I was more thinking, I think I like Vivek more than like Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump right now from what they're saying. But I think I might vote for Donald Trump or DeSantis over Vivek simply because he's Hindu. I think Albert was commenting that Hindus are usually vegetarian, so he may not be vegan, but he's probably vegetarian because that's part of their religion. Yeah. Let's see. Jose said he was very eloquent like you, Mr. Fonseca, and was even compared to Obama, which he liked. LOL. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny. I'm going to become king of Texas one day, so I'm going to take over politics in Texas. Maybe become Emperor of America, aka President.
Can you bring back the dances where people go and meet people, like the really formal ones, like
the ballroom?
Yeah, the ballroom dances. You do.
There's a lot of things I would do if I was king. When I become king, I should say. When I become king, the blue laws will be reinstated, which are like not working on Sunday. Those things will be taken into place. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I have a lot of ideas, but first I have to figure out how to run for office. It's so confusing. I was trying to figure out how this all works, and I don't know how people start. I don't know how people get their start. Like, which makes me think. Whenever I was looking into it to how to run, I was like, how on earth do some of these people do it? Like, for instance, I'm thinking of what's her name? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez,
Oh yeah.
who was a bartender,
Right.
who
Well,
is
heck, I should be one.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying. Like that would be like if you ran for office and won for office after being a bartender
with no background.
yeah, how does that happen? You know, you need
gotta have
money.
You gotta have met some powerful people.
You have to have met some
It's all about
powerful people.
connections. That's absolutely. That's why, unfortunately, on the lower level, local stuff, you can probably just be like a family man or woman and just be very active in your community and get voted into office. I'm sure there are some people who just go from that kind of situation where they're just like local and slowly move up. But if you're going to shoot that far up, you have to have no people.
Yeah.
With money.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I was like, it seems like she definitely, like there were some powerful movers and shakers that were orchestrating her rise to the top. And I'm thinking of that with a lot of these people, apparently. I mean, it must be the case. So I'm like, how on earth do I do this? How do I run for office? I guess I start off with dog catcher and move up from there.
Yeah, I think dog catcher is a good start for sure. Yeah. No.
And maybe school board, and like local small
Honestly,
mayor.
I think the best way is to move up from local stuff because you'll really understand
the situations.
Yeah.
Nancy says probably people she bartended for. Maybe.
I mean, it's possible.
Maybe.
She was in New York, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she probably ran into some affluential people.
Yeah, that's very possible. Sci-Fi Mike said if it was Vivek versus RFK Jr., it'd be quite the decision. Well, you would think so, but RFK Jr. recently, in an interview, he said that he supports abortion up to 3 months.
Oh, shoot.
And then he backtracked and said that he just endorses the women's right to choose. So RFK Jr., he's just a Democrat from 10 years ago. I'm glad he's anti-mutilating children, but it's like, is that really the bar we're setting? Like, you don't support the mutilating of children. Oh, you must be so good. It's craziness. It's craziness. Anyway, that's it. We're out of time. Dawn says praying is the new voting. What do you mean praying is the new voting? I don't get that. All right, guys. God bless you. God love you. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Say a prayer for Sissel as she goes on her retreat. We'll pray for you, Sissel, tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, Dave Palmer will be on with us, filling in for Sissel. And next Monday, I'll be back in the Houston studios. And I think that's about it. So God bless you guys. God love you. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central, 7 Eastern.